Alanis Morissette, who also took Best Rock Album and Album of the Year for a top total of 4 Grammy Awards.
I had a conflicted experience with the whole concept of winning the awards because on one hand, it was good for me to take in the acknowledgement. And on the other hand, I've never really believed in competition within art. It's like someone saying yellow is better than green or red is better than blue. It's such a subjective thing that putting artists up against each other and having one person win seemed anathema to what art meant to me. So here I am up on stage accepting these Grammys, so grateful for the acknowledgement and for the tipping of the hat to what it was that I'd expressed with Glenn. And at the same time, conflicted with the whole concept of artists being pitted against each other. Do I love the idea of artists all being in a room, being celebrated together? Absolutely. But there is a distinct difference between celebration and competition, and I'm bummed out that award shows require the competitive aspect to enter in. And I'm as competitive as the next person, and I love competition. But it's the judgment and the comparison part that feels violent to me as an artist.
Great, like usual. You're so consistent. No, let's begin. We only have a short amount of time.
Wait, let's just say it.
Okay.
You are such a long time in the music business, as we see in all the biographies. If you had the choice, would you do it again?
Absolutely, I wouldn't change a damn thing. I would do it all over again. I think who I am today is certainly because of all the experiences I've experienced cumulatively, and I really love writing about my passages and changes and shifts. It's my favorite thing to do, to experience something intense and then to go home and write about it.
Are there good motivations, good ideas to be in the music business?
Well, I think being in the music industry has been a huge gift and very fun for me. There's been a lot of self-defining moments in it for me, and I've really loved the people that I've worked with over the years. So, I'm the first person to say that I would encourage someone to do it. Although when they're really young, I think it's definitely worth being around a lot. If your kid wants to start singing really young, because them being on their own that early might be a little too much.
How could you describe your own musically development during this time?
I started writing songs when I was 10, so I wrote music and lyrics on my own, and then I collaborated much more as the years went on, and then I wrote alone again for the last 6 years, and then I've been really excited to collaborate again. So I go through these passages and waves, and lyrically it's just a snapshot of that time in my life. Every record is like a diary. And musically, I still feel like I'm stretching and expanding. The new bandmates that I'm playing with are very inspiring to me, so I'm ready to stretch even more musically and harmonically.
Has your vision on men changed over the years?
Yes, definitely. I'm a lot more...
In a positive way? Or?
Yeah, definitely. I think, it's a patriarchal society still, and certainly I was raised in an environment that was patriarchal, so in that context, it's been challenging, to say the least, to be a woman, and I've risen to the occasion on countless moments, and in other moments it's been really enraging and frustrating and hard, but I really have used those experiences to form who I am now, and I have a lot more compassion. I have a lot more compassion for myself and my gender. I have a lot more compassion for men in general, and I feel like I've visited the country of men much more so, rather than in the past I would just judge it and be really upset about it, whereas now I feel
What did you see?
I see a lot of fragility and vulnerability, and I've always felt like women are so conditioned to behave a certain way, and I'm seeing that men are equally conditioned to behave certain ways, and I have a lot of empathy for that.
Maybe they're more scared to show their emotions more than women, maybe?
Yeah, it's not a safe planet for men to be vulnerable and tactile and hold each other. There's so much homophobia, there's so much, emotionophobia in the male world, certainly in the female world too, but, there's a lot that I have empathy for now.
More than maybe you expected in a way?
Well, I think a lot of times I'm just writing about a human condition, so there's a genderlessness to what I'm writing about. I mean, a human emotion, you know, like sadness or anger or frustration or despondency or whatever it is. I think it's available to both genders. So that's why I think men are getting as much out of it as women are.
Do you feel you have, you know, men, women, it's kind of 50-50 when it comes to your fan base, or is it still more women when you see the crowds and you see the, you know, the people who come to the shows?
Well, last night in Paris, it was more men than women. Would you say that, Brian?
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw more men, and then I'll do a show in Ohio, and it'll be 75% women. So I never really know what to expect.
No. You say that you're happy now.
Well, I don't think there's such thing as happy across the board, but
in general.
Yeah, much more comfortable.
Yeah.
Much more better equipped. I think I'm better equipped to understand myself and understand all the different emotions that I have, rather than riding the roller coaster of it and being really reactive to it. I feel like now when I feel an emotion, I know what to do.
And that's also, you know, a good thing for a singer-songwriter, you think, that you...
Yeah, God. Well, I think it's really good for someone who's in the public eye to share the message with people that evolution is possible and healing is possible and consciousness raising is possible. And if I could share anything with people, it would be that it's possible. I could be perceived as someone 10 years ago as being really reactionary and very kind of victim consciousness, and then to evolve to a place where I'm no longer in that kind of victim-y place. I think that's a message that I would love to share with people.
'Cause all that matters, Mary Jane, is your freedom. So keep warm-minded, keep your
I didn't know any other version of this that seemed normal to me, but that's what you do. You go from clubs to arenas. I don't know. I distinctly remember going from postage stamp sized stages to huge stages, and I thought, God, this is a workout. This is like a huge stage. I can't run across all the way to, but it wound up becoming this playground. You know, I was able to just run around and jump off things and just be a 6-year-old, and it was really fun. And I would see myself running around or expressing and experiencing all these different emotions, and I would look at some of the people's facial expressions in the audience, and I would see them experiencing, you know, feeling validated or comforted or uplifted or inspired to go home and be a whirling dervish in their own life, you know. So that was very exciting to me, and that's when I really realized that there was something really beautiful going on here outside of the details of successful record and great tour. And, you know, I knew there was something else going on that I could capitalize on in a spiritual way.
opposite sex or men in general at that time?
My whole story was that I was more of the chaser, you know. So I would chase and then they would run away. That was the main version of it. A lot of times too, I would bounce between dating older men, like much older, 30 years older than I was, and then dating men my age, and I would bounce between the two. And that's slowly coming to a little bit of a stop now, thankfully.
Was it a success at that time, chasing older men?
Yeah, I mean, I was a young singer-songwriter in the public eye as a young teenager too, so there were a lot of older men that found that appealing in some ways. In retrospect, you know, if I were my own parent, I wouldn't have stood for it. But I had a lot of freedom as a young child, which on one level was great. It taught me how to be responsible, and on another level, it was a little early for me to have had that much freedom, I think. Yeah, when I wrote it, I was 19 and 20.
Yeah, 19 and 20.
Mm-hmm.
So you were just a typical normal girl growing up.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of things did you go through, like every other girl does?
Some of the things I experienced, you know, unrequited love, relationships that were a little difficult, questioning my sexuality for a long time, really seeing what my favorite form of expression was dancing, acting, singing. I really enjoyed that. I experienced eating disorders and the body image question mark that was always there, you know, patriarchal issues, having a lot of men in my life, my brothers and my father, and worked with a lot of older men in my music career. So kind of started with that a little bit. Loved to travel. I lived in Germany when I was quite young for 3 years, and that's a little nutshell.
I saw the lyrics where you say, meeting the man of my dreams, and then meeting his beautiful wife. What did you mean by that sentence?
What I meant by that sentence was that in my past I would often meet someone that I really felt connected with, or you know, who I really liked, and they were in a relationship. So my story for a long time was that the people that I wanted to be with weren't available in some way.
So girl stuff, like
typical.
Yeah. What went through your mind at that time in your life when you wrote Ironic?
I wrote those songs when I had just moved to America, so there was the big kind of culture shock from Canada to America that I'd underestimated. And then I was on my own. I didn't have a lot of friends. Sorry,
we'll just take that from the start.
Okay.
Yeah. What went through your mind writing a song like Ironic?
Well, I had just moved to Los Angeles, so I was experiencing the culture shock from Canada to America, and I didn't have any friends. So I was spending time with Glenn Ballard, who I wrote the record with, and we were just joking around for Ironic in particular. We were just laughing, and certainly the song isn't filled with ironies, but we were just, you know, trying to make each other laugh.
Alanis, could you tell me, what is good lyrics to you?
To me, good lyrics are when it's autobiographical. When someone is writing about their personal experience or their history or their insights. That's what I connect with the most. I think of people like Joni Mitchell and a gentleman named Jason Faulkner and Rufus Wainwright. Whenever I hear these artists' lyrics, I can tell about their own personal experience.
Why do you think that's so important?
I like art, whether it's painting or photographs or songs, lyrics, that don't seem like they're coming from someone's head. It feels like it's just coming through them, like their body and their voice or their pen is being used, you know, by spirit or God or whatever you call it. So that's my favorite.
Okay.
Let's get the stage line together and monitor level together.
Okay. My perspective. Yes, this is backstage. This is the door. Yes. The Jagged little tour.
95.
Jessica's doing his ballet.
Club D Wash.
Wow.
What does that name mean?
Sold out. Oh, you think?
No, not even close.
How many people are out there?
The first 2 gigs we did were both right around my birthday. We played Luna Park and Dragonfly within a night of each
it was just really surprising to be singing You Ought to Know and have the audience sing the lyrics louder than I did. So I was kind of wide-eyed, and it was probably that moment onward that I just started going within into a little survival mode. It started around those 2 nights.
Okay, video on the table.
I love it. Should I go to the other room? Andy's shitting. So, yeah. I'll take a photo.
You're only 5 minutes late, babe.
Go. I'll do it after, Shiva. Yeah. Will we forget? No. You got your gloves, you got your ears, you got your muffs, you got everything. My muffs. Let's dedicate this show to Jason Health.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Jace, get better quick.
I'm on my way. Suicide's kicking in right now.
Good. I anticipate you dancing around like a shenanigan crazy man.
You'll sweat that shit out tonight.
Sweat it out.
That's the plan.
Go off. And it's a rock and roll smoky club show.
Yeah.
So
Total rock show.
rock
Yeah.
and cocktail.
Yeah.
All right, love it.
Smash it
Love
up.
you.
All right.
Smash it up, smash it up. Yeah, we get to do a song on the stage. How's that for?
Hands are on eight.
That's right. caterers were singing it to me.
Huey started it.
You still don't support it, Esther?
It was terrible.
Break it down.
Jay, cry to your wife. The table's ready. Bring it down.
Let's get very serious now. Yeah, I like that. Keep going.
Woo!
I have to do a teaser on today, and it's about doing mixtapes because the name of
The show.
The show is mixtape.
Okay.
11 decades is mixtape.
Okay.
Have you ever recorded mixtapes for someone?
Yes. I've made many mixtapes in my life. I think one of the sweetest gifts I received from anyone when I was first kind of dating them a few years ago was, instead of him bringing me chocolates and flowers, he gave me a mixtape of his, and it gave me a really great indication of the kind of person he was, and I wound up dating him because of his taste in music.
Does a mixtape open the window to the soul of a man or of a woman?
I think it can tell you a lot about that person, and I remember falling in love during the time where I was falling in love with my now fiance, and I would just listen to the kinds of songs he would listen to, and they were all really soft and melodic and romantic, and I just remember that telling me a lot about him.
Do you still keep these tapes? Are they in your home, or did you throw them away after the relationship was over?
I've kept a few of them in my little souvenir box, but the ones that Ryan, my fiance, has given me, it's all in my iPod.
Okay, so that's Johnny Mitchell River.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Alanis Morissette, and I will be with you this hour on Neste Live, playing some of my favorite music. The first song we'll start with is a song by Joni Mitchell, a fellow Canadian and someone whom I adore for her autobiographical expressions. And this is a song called River that when I first moved to California, I missed Canada so much, having been from there and still from there. I would play it and lie on my bed and listen to it and just drift away thinking of Canada.
Okay. So, as you mentioned, the song just ended.
Okay.
That was Johnny Mitchell's River, and then go
Okay.
to Dave
James Silver, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. That was a song called River by Joni Mitchell. This is Alanis Morissette hosting today's show on Neste Live. The next song is by another fellow Canadian woman whose concert I went to for the first time when I was 10 years old. And I remember being very touched by her artistry. And this is a song called Taxi Ride.
Fine. So, Eloquence.
Eloquence by Jason Faulkner. Do you want me to say
Yeah.
anything? Okay.
Maybe I cut it, but just to have it.
To have it, okay. That was a song by Jane Siberry from Canada, a song called Taxi Ride. One of my favorite artists based out of Los Angeles, whom I've had the privilege and gift of touring with once in a while over the last few years, his name is Jason Faulkner. He used to be the drummer in Jellyfish, the band called Jellyfish, and a sweet friend and a very talented musician. This is a song of his called Eloquence.
Great.
So pure.
Or Baba instead of so pure.
Well, a man is.
The man is the same.
Oh, right, that's true. You can't follow that.
You ought to know after so pure.
Yeah.
And then maybe I was going to say you learn and then whatever reset and then wake up.
That's the same length as the blade. Yeah, we'll put head over feet up here somewhere. Maybe after this grudge, I was going to say.
Or after a man.
Yeah, I liked it after this grudge. We've done it after this
Yeah, it's cool because it's really
They all
like
get all happy.
positive and
Yeah.
After something,
That'll be good before man. Yeah, just
Yeah.
put those two up.
There you go.
I don't think they
Cool, I like it.
So, shit! Uninvited guest, yo.
Do it up, man. Fucking right off and
Why
shit.
that's the shit that makes me nervous. Not like talking in front of people or people hating me. I don't fucking care. It's doing little subtle changes like that I'm like.
Well, probably because you have to get right in it. You don't have even a chance, you know what I mean?
I'm excited about it.
It's dramatic, man.
Yeah.
It's dramatic.
I like spontaneous lines.
I do too. Oh, yeah. Right.
the spokesperson for Generation X. How do you feel like you fit in on today's music scene with all the new bands?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. All I know is, all I can promise and all I am assured of is that I'll write songs that are relevant to where I am now. And then it'll be like a snapshot and a diary entry almost with music. But I think there's something to be said for just staying on my own path and not being too distracted by the ebb and flow of what's going on in the industry. But also, I don't know, I think it's fun. It's fun to watch the evolution of what's happening in the music industry. I mean, a lot of people are mortified by it, but I just see the pendulum swings and something interesting will emerge.
The reissue, it's the 10-year anniversary for Technical. I'm going to re-release the album. Why do you want to do that? I mean,
artistically?
Yeah.
Well, the thought was to reissue the original record, and someone jokingly said, I think people have a copy of it. Right. And I've done different acoustic versions of it over the years, over the last 10 years, and I loved it. So I just thought, let's get it on tape and share that with people. And then once we went in the studio and I reconnected with Glenn Ballard, who I did the original record with, and once we got back in the studio, there were a couple of versions like Hand in My Pocket and All I Really Want that were new versions that we'd never done before. So that's just fun for me, to harmonically reinterpret a song and to get it on tape, all the different versions we've been doing. It's really just fun, to be honest.
Have you been able to do anything while you've been here as well?
Yeah, we walked around a bit today. I've been here a couple times. Yeah, so I've seen it, and I haven't seen all of it, but I've seen a lot of it. I love it here. My favorite band, Magnet, is from here. So.
Yeah, I remember that you liked them. You still like them?
Yes, I love them. So that's enough of a reason right there to do a show in Norway. Yeah.
You should have them as a support act.
I was supporting him at this point.
So you miss your family and friends a lot. Is that hard when you're on tour? Or?
Well, I bring my friends with me, so my parents are going to come meet me. My mom's originally from Budapest in Hungary, so we're doing a show there, and my mom and my aunt and my dad are going to come up and join me. So I'm excited.
Good. Do you like tour?
I love it.
Yeah.
There was a period of time where I was touring too much. Like I toured for a year and then almost a year and a half for a supposed record, so I was exhausted. But I pace myself much better now. I don't tour longer than a month and a half, so that's the smartest choice I've ever made. It's more relaxing to be transparent about what's going on in my life rather than hiding it. When I hide certain things, it's exhausting. But when I'm really transparent and I write about my autobiographical experiences and sing it with people, I feel more connected with them. I feel like I validate their experience, their human experience at the same time, and I don't get sick, because whenever I'm holding things inside, I feel like I get sick eventually.
Do you feel like is it more different to write songs and lyrics when you're sort of not feeling happy or good or content than when you're on?
I think just passion is necessary for me. So passionate frustration or passionate anger or passionate infatuation or love or whatever it is, passionate joy. As long as there's that force, I can write.
Is that sort of the only way for you to, do you think, to express yourself?
Yeah, it's inspiration. You know, well, I can be passionately bored too, I suppose. So I'll write a passionately bored song.
Some have criticized you for being too what's the word, centered in your lyrics, and how do you respond to that?
Well, I think the only way that I can be of service to other people is if I put myself first in that sense. So. I encourage it in everybody that I meet to really take care of themselves first, because there's a natural generosity that comes from that. And I think the answer to our planetary issues lie in the level of compassion we have for ourselves, and level of self-understanding.
I love cake. Cake rocks.
Cake rocks. I love it. Oh, wait. My Grammys are in storage, and I just saw them for the first time ever. Here it is. This is the first time I'm seeing it. Dust only with a soft cloth. If necessary, wipe with a damp cloth, but not frequently. But it was really cool to see them. They looked lovely. And the part of them that expresses the acknowledgement and the honoring is just really sweet to see that. Because it has been my personal growth challenge to take that in. Best female rock vocal performance. Best female rock vocal. Cool. And the part of it that connotates betterness, not that into it. I mean, I think I'm awesome, but I don't think I'm the only awesome one. Well, maybe I am. Next question.
Places like Latin America, do you like it there too?
Yeah,
it's
love.
It's a different kind of vibe there. Right?
Yes, it's very. There's a sweet, haunted, passionate energy in South America that I love.
And the people, that's what people. What do they give to you?
The shows are just so much of a conversation energetically too, and every show is completely different. So it really allows me to sort of give a lot and receive a lot at the same time. It's a real flow like that. I love that.
Because it must be different. Each place you visit, the audiences are different.
Yes.
Like in Europe, you said America, Canada. It's all different.
It is.
It must be very special that you never know from before how people are going to react to the show.
Yeah, I have no idea until the show starts, and it really shows me a snapshot of that culture in a cool way. It's rare to have an opportunity to see a group of people from one culture in front of you.
What's the specialness that you learned from those travels?
Traveling? Well, the Asian trips are always so inspiring to me because there's such a deep desire, deep, innate spirituality there. Street corners, they have altars and incense burning everywhere, and people look at you in the eye and they don't look away like they do in North America. So that's nice. I've always felt like a citizen of the planet. My parents were and are great world travelers. So I think I really got that from them.
Back up on your career.
I look back with joy and gratitude and relief. Relief that I'm 30, that I made it. And just appreciation, It was a really special time. This last decade has been a really, this lifetime of mine is really a blessed one. And I feel really excited. I feel like I'm still really young though, so I feel like I'm just beginning in some ways. Good.
Sightseeing, do you have any specific objective to see?
Yes, I intend to explore a little bit. We explored a little bit both sides of Budapest today. And tomorrow I intend to spend a full day with my family exploring even more and going to my mom and my aunt's childhood home.
We heard that your life is about to change quite soon. You are going to marry. And the question is, what are your plans? How do you see your married life? Do you plan any kids in the future? So what kind of influence will that have on your artistic and private life?
We are engaged, very happy to be engaged, and we're very much enjoying this phase. And we don't have any plans right now of a wedding date as such. But it could be in the next year, it could be in the next 6 months, it could be in the next 3 years. I have absolutely no idea.
As I heard, you are esoterically oriented. And I also heard that you tell the future from cards. Now, in what way do you do this soothsaying? What kind of cards do you use? Do you have a crystal ball? What is your general interest in this field?
I do have a tendency toward, very spiritual understandings, kind of combining science and spirituality both. I believe that they're linked. And I have all kinds of tools of divination. I use tarot cards, I meditate, I'm obsessed with essential oils from around the planet. I use that. I'm into healing arts, so I do a lot of massage therapy and that kind of thing.
During your concert last year in Salzburg, there was a small Hungarian team of fans. And perhaps you saw the placard they raised in the air, because she was personally there too. And the question is, did it have any influence on you? Did it influence your decision to come to Hungary this time?
Absolutely. I've wanted to come to Hungary to do a show for a long time, so that probably spawned me to want to come even more, to be sure. And it's just heartwarming because it's half of my blood, so.
Yes.
Ha jól tudom, vannak magyar gyökereid, de kicsit szeretném mesélni erről, hogy milyen.
We heard something about your Hungarian roots. Would you tell us something? Would you amplify this simple fact for us a little bit?
Would you like me to answer it to you or to you?
To her.
You, okay.
I won't be seen.
Okay. My mom's side of my family is Hungarian, and my mother and my aunt and my father joined me here on this trip, and I specifically wanted to come to Budapest to honor my roots in exactly as you mentioned.
Thank you so much.
Hi. Wonderful, thank you.
That's right here, please. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Alanis Morissette. Congratulations, Alanis, being inducted into Canada's Walk of Fame. Before we start here on the floor, please, with question.
An honor for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
How do you
you.
feel about this?
Well, I've always, as I mentioned when I was on stage, I've always been ambivalent about the concept of fame. One part of me has been really excited about it, the other part has been mortified and afraid of it almost. So this is an opportunity for me to grow up and take in the acknowledgement and really allow the honoring to happen without pushing it away.
All right.
Scalpel.
There you go.
Forceps.
Hello, ladies.
Sound people in the booth up there, can you hear me? No. Yes? Was that level okay for you kids? Are we still thumbs up? Or am I in trouble?
With the other people at the other person. I got nothing. Let's enjoy the new Unsent song.
All right.
And
rock out the Baltimore crowds.
Word up.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Hey.
Ready?
Walk out with your tits
Baltimore. Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Who's a whore? Baltimore.
Alright, let's get on the stage like this. Don't break the circle.
Okay. So you guys are coming out with me when I do it, right?
In 30 seconds. Yes.
Come now. Oh yeah.
You're coming out with me, hon. Because there's no carpet or whatever you call it. Drop.
It's curtain.
Carpet curtain.
Curtain. Carpet match the
carpets match the curtains.
So what's the difference to you guys between information and I have some scoop for you?
Scoop is more exciting. It's like
Yeah,
gossip.
scoop is way more
Thank
exciting.
you. He's a guy and he said it. Because he goes, I have some scoop for you. And he told me the most boring information.
Mundane shit.
Just information that you didn't have, which I thought would be exciting to you.
Potentially scandalous and
Yes.
Or like useful or important.
But he gave me the most useful information.
Yeah, the square root of 4 being 2 is not a scoop, dude.
Someone told me that you actually called Mother Teresa like the day before she passed away.
Yeah.
So who else is in your phone? I mean, I look at mine, I have Mr. Moon and producer Keith and I think my mom, and that's about it.
That's a good list.
Well,
that keeps it really clean.
Yeah. Who else do you know? Who would surprise, if you told me a list of your friends, who on your list of friends would surprise us?
I don't know who would surprise you. I'm friends with a lot of different authors, so I think people presume that I hang out with rock stars all the time. And while I have the privilege of running into a bunch of them, my friends are often authors and writers.
You know, let's go back to your beloved again, Brian. What's his nickname for you?
What does he call
If it's
me?
clean to say.
We call each other everything. We call each other honey, sugar, baby,
sweetie,
all
the
that.
usual. The usual. Okay. Have you gone wedding gown shopping? Are you going to go that way?
No, I think it'll be a last minute spontaneous thing. I don't think it'll be pre-planned.
You don't want any helicopters following you?
No, no helicopters and no stress. That's the key for me. I want it to be really fun.
What's your favorite cereal? This is the hard-hitting questions, by the way.
I like Ezekiel granola.
Are you kidding?
I'm not.
You're kind of one of those granola girls, aren't you?
I am.
You're kind of a natural type. Someone told me you're a
Sometimes.
nudist. Is that true?
Well, if you want to label it as such, I'm very comfortable being naked with a bunch of other people in a non-sexual way. I mean, in a sexual way if I was like 16 and crazy or whatever. But
Sometimes I have to cover up when my cats see me coming out of the shower, so I don't have that freedom. I'd like to know how you
maybe
do that.
start with the cats and then go from there. Then you'll be walking to work naked. You won't care.
Okay, speaking of naked, in your video, when you're, thank you, were you really not wearing anything in that video?
Yeah, we have to.
You did the blurring.
They have to do the blurring, and then on the street itself, I think you can be arrested and thrown in jail if your nipples or your pubic hair is showing. So we had to put tape over that. But other than that,
well, good for you, girl.
It was good.
Good thing you had long hair, huh?
Right. First couple minutes were weird, but eventually you got used to it.
Do you go out to the clubs or do you like hang out in the hotel rooms? What do you guys do?
Whatever. But when I'm touring, it's very important for me to actually take care. So sleep is
So you
pivotal.
can sing properly.
But yeah, I like to do both. I like to stay in a hotel room and ensconce, and then I also like to go out and party. Depends on the mood.
What's your mood like for tonight?
Tonight I'm punch drunk. So
we'll drag you to your room.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you wish you could do that you can't do because of your fame?
Well, it depends on the day, because some days I walk around and I'm recognized often, and then other days I walk around and not even one person looks twice. So I think being able to walk down a street knowing that no one will look at me and that I can people watch all day, because I used to do that all the time as a teenager. I would sit on a park bench and just watch people go by, and I miss being able to do that without the thought of, is this safe to do?
frustration. I'm the nuclear bombs if they're to hit. I am your immaturity and your indignance. I am your misfits and your praises. I am your doubt and your conviction. I am your charity and your rape. I am your grasping and expectation. I see you averting your glance. In a church by the face, he talks about people going under. Only China. Man decides after 70 years, that's what he goes there for, to unlock the door. All those around him criticize and sleep. A little more vocal for the verses. And through a fractal on a breaking wall, I see you, my friend, touch your faith again. Miracles will happen as we dream. But we're never gonna survive us. We get a little crazy. No, we're never gonna survive us. We are a little
The Gap came up with a campaign that I really felt drawn to, of focusing on artists' favorites. The one that really stood out was one of my true favorites called Crazy by Seal. My bandmates and I, with Glenn Ballard producing, covered the song.
Right, you sound so dancing.
It's gonna be fun.
You smell coconut. You smell good as coconut like a girl.
Russia, but make it great or else see you later.
It depends on the place that you're in. You can hear the exact same song that you've done, and I'm sure that you've had fans come up to you and say, "Oh my God, this song has changed my life," or "It came at the right time," and that must be an amazing feeling.
It is. I've always believed that, you know, whether it's finding the right book or the perfect song or having the perfect conversation that's so timely, I just really believe in that. So
Yeah.
I just feel privileged to be able to be a soundtrack to someone's life for 3.5 minutes. I mean, that's
Well, it's a gift.
blessing.
It is. It's a gift to a lot of people. Have you ever had a fan come up to you and tell you one of their stories about how?
Yeah.
I mean, it must happen all the time.
I love it. I love when people write letters and they tell me their story, or come up to me, frankly. But I've heard some really beautiful stories of courage and you know, people really taking care of themselves, and a lot of sort of boundary setting stories where people stand up for themselves for the first time ever, or leave a situation that isn't working for them anymore. And a lot of them are tearjerkers.
I think, you know, it's part of the cycle of life. You and I talked, I guess it was May of 2004, and a lot has happened to you since then. So, you know, it's amazing that...
evolution is so hot.
Yeah. I've never heard it put that way before.
It is, thank God for it. I was speaking with someone the other day and just thought, you know, evolution above everything, above my comfort, above a relationship staying in one place, whatever. As long as I'm evolving, I'm a happy woman.
But you make a lot of other people happy too, so it's great. Alanis Morissette, thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you for
I hope you have a
great
Thanksgiving. How about you outro the last song, because this is one of your favorites.
Yes, I'm a huge fan of Travis, so this is one of my favorites of theirs called Turn. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much. But you're also getting recognized by some people, Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Just sweet to be honored. It's always been a challenge for me to accept that. So whether it's Vanity Fair, I think the turning point for me, I got the UN Global Tolerance Award, and that was the first time that I really stepped into it and received acknowledgement in that way without, staring down at my toes in typical Canadian fashion or pushing it back or whatever it was. So just really letting that in. It's been a huge growth challenge of mine over the last couple of years.
You mean gratitude and acceptance?
Yes.
Yes.
Gratitude and acceptance I'm getting. It's the letting acknowledgement and support in that I've been getting better at slowly.
Is it one of those situations where 1,000 people can tell you how great you are, but then there's one person who's like, and you're like, that's all you focus on?
Well, I think we only focus on that if that's what we actually believe. Like if people are telling us things that we don't actually believe, then it just goes in one ear and out the other.
Right, it's the one that you accept, that's the one, the way you feel. That's
very
very
interesting. Where you're at, really.
Yeah, right? Oh, yeah. Well, that explains a lot.
Come here.
I say ciao. I hand it over to someone else.
Arrivederci, Alanis.
I feel like I'm in the electric anything before?
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Are we great? So
Princess Familiar speaks to how it's not at all a coincidence that I would fall for similar qualities, both fun and not so fun, in my partner that resembled how my childhood was. Sampled Together is hands down one of the most grief-filled songs that I've ever written.
I thought we'd be simple together. I thought we'd be happy together. Thought we'd be limitless together. You and me have made.
One of the most painful things about being in a patriarchal society is the competition and lack of sisterhood there can be amongst women. I felt really compelled to write this song as I was finishing the record because there was a particular relationship where that lack of women having each other's backs was really playing out. Over at my house, and I didn't have the courage to ask them to leave. I was too much of a people pleaser. So I ensconced myself in my closet and wrote these lyrics. It was during the time that I was in the middle of the pressure cooker that was following up Jagged Little Pill. And this song became like a meditation or a mantra to me.
Even if I would be good, whether with or without you. That's why birds do it, bees do it.
Erwin Winkler, who directed The Lovely, as well as Rob Cowan and Charles Winkler, the producers of the movie, the four of us sat together and they invited me to choose one of the Cole Porter songs to perform in the film.
Trees do it, bees do it, even overeducated trees do it. Let's do it, let's fall in love. Like anyone would be, I am flattered by your fascination with me.
After having seen a screening of City of Angels, I went home and wrote a song from my own perspective as well as the lead character's perspective in the movie, combined in about 15 minutes in my living room.
But you're not alone. You're not invited. An unfortunate slide.
Kevin Smith, who directed Dogma, had asked me to consider writing a song for the movie. And the cameo role that I had played was the role of God. And I thought it would be interesting to write a song through the voice of God speaking to the people on the planet.